My name is Samantha Quillish and I am a soprano from Ascot in England. I have just graduated from the Royal Academy of Music's Opera School and here I am. My artistic practice is an ever-changing one. I feel that I like to focus on the emotions and the meaning of the music that I perform, and so often any piece that I look at after first deciding if I could sing it at all, I'm always intrigued by the story, the emotions, and I often find if that speaks to me, I'll choose to work on it. The languages, I always try and perfect them before I sing it, otherwise I know that I take a million years to recreate something once I've drilled it into my head. So sometimes it's a long process, but I mean, I'd rather learn something slowly and be confident at the end. It works with mixed variety of results. I discovered my voice when I was about 13, so probably a little bit later to the party than a lot of other people. I wanted to be a musical theatre singer, desperately. I was going to be the next Eponine, big name in lights. But then as I did all my singing exams, I found that I just wasn't as good at that. And my singing teacher at the time, he was always pushing just, let's work on the classical pieces. And of course, me at 13, it was, no, I don't want to do that. I think I was a nightmare back then. But I gave it a go, I tried, and he really, really encouraged me. And from that, I went and focused on it more and more, ended up going to Scotland. At that point, opera wasn't necessarily the goal, it was just classical music, and I kind of started to really enjoy it then. And whilst I was at the Scottish, I started to think, actually, opera is almost the musical theatre for my voice type, and naturally fell into it like that. And later this year, I am going to be performing in the wonderful Wigmore Hall on the 15th of October at 7:30, live streamed, tune in, with independent opera and 3 incredible other artists, which will be so exciting. Really looking forward to be singing pieces I love, just in front of other people again, to get things moving. I'm super excited to be back in Wigmore. I love it as a hall, I love it as a venue, and the whole concert looks like it's going to be such a variety. There are probably 2 pieces. One is the songs my mother taught me by Dvorak from his Gypsy songs. I just think it's stunning. It's a stunning piece, and the beauty kind of comes from its simplicity. And the second piece is a Trinkelipion, first time I've said that out loud, which I'm singing with one of my best friends, who's also independent opera, Glenn. So I'm excited to sing with him. It's been years and years since we have, so that will just be really lovely. I think when quarantine and lockdown first started, I was quite in need of a break. So I think initially I was kind of a bit relieved for the first, couple of weeks that I had a chance to not feel guilty about not doing things and actually take a break. But then that inevitably spiraled into a very long break. I wasn't singing for a long time, and it gets you in a bit of a rut. But I also started doing some painting and an abnormal amount of cooking and baking. I loved doing that. So I'm trying to think now, things are slowly opening back up. I feel excited, nervous, but like a ray of hope in the end. And whilst it's frustrating that I let myself have such a hiatus, I think it's been good for me to find like other hobbies and other things that bring me kind of joy and make me pause. So I know now if I get stressed, I like doing the painting. I'm awful, but I like doing it, and I like doing the baking, and I've almost found non-singing things that will help me when things get back to kind of normal. Classical music needs to be nurtured more than it is, and I think more people need to listen to it, not less. Just because things aren't happening as much now, people need to be playing it. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do. It's the type of music that you don't need to know the language, you don't need to know the singer, the composer, to feel what the piece is kind of showing you. And I think classical music in these times allow us to experience feelings that we don't talk about out loud. There's like an epicness, I think, to some pieces that you play, super loud in the car, and there's a feeling like deep in you. You cannot stand there.
So that it's easier to cut.
Go warm up.